Hola, ¿qué pasó? This is Ubby coming back at you with episode 3 of the Levines. I still am healthy, thanks to Yahweh. Um, and I don't know, good eggs from my chickens. I know it's been a really depressing time with the lack of medical equipment and the perpetual lies and the hail in Minnesota. Got to talk about the weather. But I always talk about my dad. One of the people, the essential people in my life, is my mom. And one of the pieces of wisdom my mom passed down on to me is if you have to pee, you need to find somewhere to go to take care of that. My mom put it like this: if you're ever in a conversation with someone and you're pretending to pay attention to them, but you really have to take care of business, you're really doing a disservice to both parties. But also, on a gut level, if you're in a situation that's feeling kind of funny, kind of, I need to get out of here, you need to give yourself permission to make an exit. And conversely, if you got something to say, if you got something to let out, bring it up and do so. Unfortunately, I inherited a physical manifestation of this let it out lifestyle from my dad. And I don't know if it's historical trauma or just a perpetual shortage of our cultural foods like gefilte fish, knish, and potato latkes, but we both get incessant stomach issues. Just yesterday, I went to drop off some food and supplies over at my dad's, and as I was driving over there, I started to feel under the weather. And I don't know if this happens to you, but it's kind of a stomach dis-ease that initiates, and then it just takes over the rest of your body, and then you start feeling like, I don't know what's going to happen at the end of this drive, or I don't know where our country is going. When I got to my dad's house, he was laid out on his back on his bare mattress with the sheets curled up in the corner. There's some medicine bottles strewn out and some broken sunglasses, and it looks like he just had a wild party of one. There's purple incense smoke billowing over his head. But he was passed out on the bed, and I'm cleaning up his counter and the floor, scrubbing out the cigarette ash, and cleaning out the empty cans of clam chowder. And I'm just there with my latex and my mask, and he's asking me all variety of questions, like how old my landlord is, and how I met her, and why Hezbollah has a foothold in Syria, because he's interested in both domestic and international affairs, of course. And he's like laid there on his back, just kind of, talking to me like a chopped up Google Translate and bits of Polish and German, Jawohl, and Portuguese. Do you know what taxamikit means? Nope. But I do remember when you used it in the checkout line of IKEA. My dad wasn't, the funny thing is, or the messed up thing, is that my dad wasn't approaching incoherence and listlessness because of the virus, but because he had been cucking all day. Even more than a bullshitter, my dad is just, a shitter. And I can't even be laughing at him, though, because I'm also living that life. And this has always been one of my greatest struggles, to be honest, is that I eat so well, yet I put the gas in gastronomy. That's a pun that I intended. By the time I got home, anyways, from my dad's place, shit was not getting any better in my belly. And I'm supposed to get on a virtual get-to-know-you call with my colleagues from a graduate school that I just got into. Highly, I assume, professional, put-together people. And there are three... Hey, Janet. There's three taboos you should know about, you might have already heard about, if you're going to make a Zoom call. Not being set up properly and wasting everybody's time. Forgetting to mute yourself at an inopportune time. And Zooming while in the bathroom. I was already nervous to meet my peers virtually, but I didn't care though. My thought was, if Zoom is going to track my location and record my information, which they do, I'm going to let them know exactly where I am, down to a T, okay? Or in this case, a B. In fact, just as the chat room admin was letting me in, I got the shits. And wouldn't you know, as I'm sitting there with my video turned off and my volume muted, I did step 2 right, they ask a survey question, which is, where are you zooming in from? You should know that my MO for dealing with any awkward situation is just to continue to divulge information. And while I didn't feel ideal or genteel, I did feel better letting it out. So I'm sitting there with my peers, and they're all young and beautiful and all over the world and inspiring. It's kind of like the lineup for a TED Talk. There's even a retired military colonel in Burundi. And I'm sitting there wondering about, do I come in from this angle, over here? And as I'm sitting there, I realized I forgot to pee. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of The Levines. If you like what you saw, please subscribe to my YouTube channel or my Facebook page, conveniently titled The Levines. Unless, of course, you've got to go, then go take care of that.